If you look at the trending section of any social media site, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc., you'll notice that the top three genres that get the most views are dancing videos, animal pet videos, and gender war videos. I don't much get into that because I think there's more important things going on in the world that need our attention. For example, the fact that we're on the verge of World War III. Let me explain to you why it is that I know World War III is inevitable. In case you've been living under a rock, it's important that you understand that the current standard of living experienced by those living in the United States is supported by the petrodollar. Now, the petrodollar is supported by the U.S. military, and the U.S. military maintains the U.S. dollar as the single currency that the entire world is forced to. Right now, some people might say choose to, but it's more like forced to trade for oil. The U.S. dollar is the only currency that any country on earth is allowed to trade for oil. With that being said, anytime a country decides that they want to trade their oil in a different currency, war or regime change is inevitable. Let me give you a few examples. Now, this article was published back in February of 2003 in The Guardian. The headline reads, Iraq nets handsome profit by dumping the dollar for euro. What this article will explain to you, as well as others, is that back in the year 2000, then President Saddam Hussein decided that he would no longer trade his oil or Iraq's oil for the U.S. dollar. Instead, from that time on, he decided he would trade oil for the euro. Since 2000, from 2000 to 2003, Saddam Hussein and Iraq made hundreds of millions of dollars by making this trade. Let's do a quick timeline. In the year 2000, October of 2000, Saddam Hussein announced that he would no longer trade oil for dollars, but instead trade oil for euros. 1 year later, 2001, we had 9/11. 2003, 9/11, of course, is the Twin Towers were hit in New York. In 2003, Iraq was invaded on suspicion of weapons of mass destruction. These weapons were never found, they were never there, and they were, in hindsight, exposed as a lie, a fraud, a false flag, a reason to invade Iraq not for no reason, but because they chose not to sell their oil for dollars. This is the real reason for the invasion of Iraq. But Iraq, that's not the only example. Let's not forget about Libya. Now, in case you don't know, Colonel Gaddafi was, when he was alive, the president of the African Union. He was also the president of Libya. Libya was, at the time, under Gaddafi's rule, the richest country in Africa. Colonel Gaddafi had a brilliant idea to unite Africa behind a gold dinar. The gold dinar was to be an African currency backed by gold, to rival the U.S. dollar, which was backed by oil. This headline shows, Gold dinar, the real reason behind Gaddafi's murder. Let's check out this article. It says, The Gold Dinar, a groundbreaking initiative. In 2009, Colonel Gaddafi, then president of the African Union, suggested to the states of the African continent to switch to a new currency, independent of the American dollar, the gold dinar. The objective of this new currency was to divert oil revenues towards state-controlled funds rather than American banks. In other words, to stop using the dollar for oil transactions. Countries such as Nigeria, Tunisia, Egypt, and Angola were all ready to change their currencies. Do you understand how big of a threat the gold dinar would be to the U.S. petrodollar? A currency backed by gold, which No country on earth currently has a currency backed by gold. No country on earth has enough gold to be able to do something like that. But you know which continent does have enough gold to back their own currency? Africa does. Africa has enough gold, minerals, cobalt, etc. to back a currency with tangible resources, not a fiat currency. But that leads us to today. What's happening in Russia right now?
Сегодня мною подписан указ, который устанавливает правила торговли российским природным газом с так называемыми недружественными государствами. Мы предлагаем контрагентам из таких стран понятную и прозрачную схему. Чтобы приобрести российский природный газ, они должны открыть рублевые счета в российских банках. Именно с этих счетов будет вестись оплата газа, поставленного начиная с завтрашнего дня, с 1 апреля текущего года. Если же такие платежи не будут производиться, будем считать это неисполнением обязательств со стороны покупателей, со всеми вытекающими последствиями. Нам никто ничего бесплатно не продает. И мы тоже не собираемся заниматься благотворительностью. То есть действующие контракты будут остановлены. Вновь подчеркну, в ситуации, когда финансовая система западных стран используется как оружие, когда компании из этих государств отказываются исполнять контракты с российскими банками, предприятиями, физическими лицами, когда активы в долларах и евро замораживаются, использовать валюты этих стран не имеет смысла.
In case you were unable to see who was speaking, that was President Vladimir Putin giving an update on his choice of how his country of Russia will sell oil. Now, this article is coming from the New York Times. In case you didn't understand what Putin was saying, let me reiterate. Putin says unfriendly countries must buy Russian oil and gas in rubles. Okay, do you see the pattern that I'm trying to present here? First, we invaded Iraq on the accusation that they had weapons of mass destruction, which 20 years later, we understand they never had. Then we invaded Libya. Why? Why did we destroy Africa's richest country and turn it into a failed state with open air slave markets? Because Colonel Gaddafi wanted to change from the petrodollar and go towards the gold dinar. Fast forward to today, what's Russia doing? They're saying they will no longer sell oil in US dollars, but now they will sell their oil in Russian rubles. The only difference between Russia or Putin and, let's say, Saddam Hussein, the only difference between Putin and Colonel Gaddafi is that Putin is the president of Russia, and Russia is a nuclear state. The only reason we invaded Iraq was because we knew they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Our fear was that they could one day get weapons of mass destruction. But fast forward to today, we have a country, a nuclear power, who is similar to Gaddafi or similar to Iraq and similar to Libya, moving away from the petrodollar. This is an existential threat for the United States. Either we can sacrifice our economy by allowing Russia to sell their oil in rubles, or we can sacrifice our lives in what will be an inevitable nuclear war. But hey, that's just what I think. Tell me if I'm overlooking something. Tell me if you disagree. Leave it in the comments section. Be sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I make a video every day. I try to at least make a video every day. And be sure to check out my Saturday Bible studies if you're into some interesting perspectives on that. Peace. So you made it all the way to the end of the video, but you haven't hit the like button yet. Come on now. You're cheating me, you're cheating yourself. Go ahead, hit the like button. And while you're at it, you might as well smash the subscribe button so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. I make a video every day, a different topic, a different subject. They're all interesting, so you can check them all out by hitting the subscribe button and setting your notifications to all so you get an alert when I drop a video. There you go.